Hey everybody, how are you today? My name is Mike Riddle. I'm the owner of New York BBQ Guys. And I thought it was about time for me just to share some information about me, about my company, what I'm looking to do, and about the content I create. All my friends told me to write a script, so I wrote script. I wrote a script right here, but this is what I think about scripts. Woo, look at that fire in there. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this bad boy in a minute. But I've been cooking since I was about yay high. As I grew up, I, stayed in the kitchen. I'd cook Thanksgiving dinner with my aunt, cook with my mom, whatever it took, I was always in the kitchen. And through high school, worked in a pizzeria. I really had no responsibilities and, went to work, went to school, came home. Then I decided to go to culinary school. I was like, oh, let me get a little serious about this. So I went to a culinary school and got out and I said, going to New York. I went to Bayside, Queens. And what I do, I got a job and I went into work and my first night was my last night. And I said, wow, I'm not as good as I thought I was. I got to make some changes. But I got another job, landed on my feet. I was determined I was going to make it. And worked in some really good restaurants, learned a lot about cooking, learned a lot about myself and my food. I was young, I was in my early 20s. Wound up getting a job in a really good Italian restaurant. I mean, a really good restaurant. I learned a lot. We did everything from scratch in there. Northern Italian, we made pasta, we made all of our butchering, all of our pastries, desserts, everything was made from scratch, made by hand, made with love. And I worked myself up into the sous chef position, second chef. I became executive chef, and my next logical step was I was going to buy a restaurant. And I was really aggressively looking for one. I had the backing I needed, I had everything in place, and found a location even. And you know what, we couldn't get the zoning to do what we wanted to do, and the deal fell through. And I said, what am I going to do now? I got to change it up a little. And I went from being a chef to marketing and advertising. And that's what I do today. I love it. I actually have had a great career with it. I still like to hang out and barbecue and smoke and cook. I needed a new smoker and I couldn't find the one I wanted. I found one, it had a 3-year wait list, and I said, I'm not waiting 3 years, I'm gonna make it. So I bought the steel and I learned how to weld, and I put this bad boy together. So I can really crank out some food in this. It's like a smoke oven. I always wanted a Santa Maria, so I made one. We're gonna talk about that grill. We're gonna talk about my other grill. Hey, yeah, my other grill. I got a Weber kettle grill. That thing's awesome. And then we're gonna talk about my 5th grill. Whoops. Don't tell my wife about that one. It's not built yet. But New York BBQ Guys is coming out with a gaucho grill. So I got something in mind that I'm gonna be making. We're gonna try it out. We'll have some fun with that one. Gonna make a few other things. Gonna make a nice barbecue table with a burner on it. Chud's Barbecue, he makes one. It was an awesome piece, and I love to cook, and I want to be able to cook outside, so it looks like a really useful piece of equipment. We're gonna knock one of those out, and we're gonna have a lot of fun, and I appreciate you guys following me. Share me to your friends, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and tell your friends to share me out to their friends, because I'm telling you, we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm not just gonna barbecue, but I'm gonna create. And when you start creating food and you have the passion for food and you merge those flavors, you can take an ordinary barbecue and turn it into an extraordinary event. And that's what I look to do. This is New York BBQ Guys, where chef meets entrepreneur. Crafted in smoke, forged in fire.